It's the 8 for 52 podcast, driven by Cricket Hong Kong China, proudly supported by Cricketbuzz. Yes, episode 2 of season 3 of the 8 for 52 podcast is a go, driven by Cricket Hong Kong China and proudly supported by Cricketbuzz. Buschy with you. Massive episode 2 coming up. We've got lots to get through. Our usual hosts will be back later in the show. We've got a massive in the dugout right here on top of the swimming pool pavilion at KCC. Kalhan Challu will be joining us, one of the young superstars of Cricket Hong Kong China. And speaking of superstars in international cricket, at the moment, the women are in the north. They're at Hangzhou for the Women's Belt and Road T20I series. We're going to name the team that's up there playing. The captain, of course, Natasha Miles, and vice-captain Mariam Bibi. Mariko Hill, Carrie Chan, Fatima Amir, Emma Lai, Ikra Saher, Shanzine Shazad, Alison Sue, Joylene Kaur, Lemon Chung, Alish Bakanwal, Karen Poon, and 2 players making their debut, Storm Parker and Vanessa So. Speaking of Storm, she was capped in game 1, and we're going to have a quick look at the video with her getting her first cap for Cricket Hong Kong China.
Making her debut for Hong Kong China. You've put in some incredible domestic performances over the last couple of years, and you've shown what you're made of and the skills that you have. I'm looking forward to you bringing exactly what you've been doing in the domestic circuit to the scene here today, all right? I hope you have a great game, enjoy yourself, play with a smile on your face, okay? And relish it. I hope there's a long future for you in the game here. So. Woo!
Yes, Storm with a 2 on debut, including a maiden, bagged the wicket of the Myanmar captain as well. And also getting her first cap on this tour is Vanessa So, who is wicket-keeping against Mongolia. And she received her cap from vice-captain Mariam Bibi. Well, it's time to get on with the show, and we're going to start off with some spilling of the beans. What goss does Buschy have up his sleeve this week? Find out as he spills the beans. More spill the beans, and former Hong Kong wicketkeeper Scott McKechnie has relocated from the UK to Singapore. No word if he's interested in playing for either Hong Kong, China or Singapore, but if the latter, he's still a year away from eligibility after playing his last game for Hong Kong in 2023. And finally, a bean that Atif wished I'd spilled last episode. Yasmin Daswani, when she is in Hong Kong, will play for the Diaspora Little Saiwan Club, which means I'm going to have to adjust my opinion of that team, especially after their first round results, which we'll check in with now. Let's have a look at all the weekend results from around Hong Kong. Yes, it's time to check in with all the results from the past 2 weekends of games, and joining us as he will on every episode, Atif Hussain. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Buschy.
Not really looking forward to finding out our tipping result. I feel like I had a bit of a shocker. We'll see on that one. But before we get on to those ones, we have to check in with the Women's Belt and Road T20I series going on in Hangzhou. We've just got the results of one game to give you at the moment. And it was Hong Kong China up against Myanmar. Hong Kong scoring 84 with Carrie Chan with an 18, Mariko with a 15. Then Myanmar didn't get there in the end. They were bowled out for 56 on the back of a 3-for for Carrie Chan, player of the match. Alison Sue with a 2-for. And Storm Parker, of course, as I mentioned in the intro, also getting a 2-for. Yeah. Now, there's other games going on as we're recording on a Monday. Have to get it done before the typhoon arrives, of course.
Exactly.
But we do have someone that will give us all the results of the Belt and Road series. Who's that?
The future Buschy.
Let's throw to future Buschy. Yes, thank you, past Buschy, past Atif, future Buschy here with you. Updates from the Belt and Road series from Hangzhou this week. We've already heard about game 1. Let's have a look at game 2, shall we? And that was against Mongolia. That's the game that Vanessa So was capped for the first time in. Hong Kong China batting first, 146 for 4. Big score, the captain Natasha Miles with a 49 not, and Shanzine Shazad 35. And in reply, Mongolia, they didn't get bowled out, 87 for 5 in their 20 overs. 2 wickets for Fatima Amir and 1 for Alish Bakanwal. Move on to game 3, the big one, Hong Kong China versus China. Hong Kong China batting first, bowled out by China with 2 balls to spare, 100 all out in 19.4. Top score for the vice-captain, Mariam Bibi, 43 off 48, and Carrie Chan with a 12 for 15. In reply, China chased this down with 1 ball to spare. 19.5 overs, 101 for 5. Big victory for China. Storm Parker with a 2 for again, 2 for 10 off 3, and Carrie Chan with a 1 for 14. China winning by 5 wickets in that game. Now, the last time I called an international women's game that China played in, which was less than a year ago, they were bowled out for 8 against Thailand. So that's the improvement they've made within less than a year. Fabulous effort, but it wasn't enough. Hong Kong China went through to the final. They were up against Myanmar again, the team they played in round 1. We'll have a look at the score. That was today. I was watching on intently here on my laptop, along with 375,000 other people. No word of a lie. That is true. 375,000 people were tuning in online to watch this game. Hong Kong China, they were batting first, and they used a few batters to get the score up to 96. A quarter century from Carrie Chan, 24 from the vice captain Marion Bibi, and 16 from Mariko Hill. And in reply, Myanmar, they didn't get bowled out, but they batted their full 20 and only made it to 70 in the end. So a big victory, 26-run victory for Hong Kong China. More silverware in the cupboard as they are 2025 Belton Road Women's T20I Series victors. Player of the match in the final, Alison Sue. She did well. She put on 7 runs and then went out with the ball and took 2 for 5 off 3 overs. So well done to the team. They'll be heading back to Hong Kong shortly. And speaking of heading back, let's head back to past Buschy and past Atif. Well, thanks, future Buschy. All those results as he loves to give us. Now let's move on to the games that were played here in Hong Kong. Atif, we're going to start with the Women's T20 League. Div 1. You and I went different on this one. Big game. Diaspora Saiwan Wasps, Craigengow Cricket Club Sunrisers. And of course, as we mentioned in Spill the Beans, that Wasps side is only going to get stronger with Yasmin joining them. They put on 101 all out with a ball to spare batting first. Had the Sun, that's a 37 for Shanzine.
Yeah, she was the top scorer for Saiwan, the Wasps. Ikra did chip in with 14 runs, but there was no other notable performance with the bat from Wasps there. But Kerry, your favorite, left armour in Hong Kong, again, was in the wickets.
Always in the wickets, the left armour, 2 for 11. But the batting for the Sunrisers didn't get them there. Bowled out for 94. Pulto, who was in the Birthdays last episode, top scored with a 28. Janice with a 11 and Carrie just managing 10. And the bowling for the Wasps.
Mariam Bibi finally clicking with the ball. She's had a rough couple of tours as well. She's not been bowling as well as she can, but she's back and she took a 3 for 25. And with Ikra Sar equally supporting her with a couple of wickets for her as well.
Yep, 7-run win for Diaspora and a tip right for Atif straight off the bat.
Exactly.
Div 2, Link Fireflies and Fung Wong. We both went with Link. And Link put on a great score, 118 for 9.
Yes, and that too without their premier player, which is Fatima Amir, who got sick and wasn't able to. She was there in the team. She did the toss, but she wasn't able to actually participate. She went, I think, 7 down or 8 down, just tried to get herself in, but she was vomiting and she was really, she was sick. So, but still, good total. 118
for 9. You wouldn't complain about that. Unless you're Fung Wong, who went out there in 15.2 and smashed it, 119 for 2. Amy Lai with a 41, Iris with a 15. They chased it down easy, just the 2 wickets falling.
Exactly, and it was a very measured performance from Amy Lai, who's their captain as well, I think. And she took it on her and batted really well.
Well, we both dropped that chip. Let's move on to Div 3. Lama Roses up against the youngsters at HKCC, the Diamonds. We both went Lamas. Lama Roses, or Joanne Badillo doing what she always does.
Exactly.
26, and Sharon getting a 24 as well. 199 for 4 in their 20 overs.
That's a big task for Diamonds to climb, and they weren't able to. They also scored 118, and I think it was the result was announced on Duckworth-Lewis method. I think they were running late or something, maybe. I'm not sure what happened there, but
missed out on a few. It was 2 overs short.
Yeah.
55 runs. Bowie Chan with a 28. Top scorer for the Diamonds. We both got that tip right. Let's move on to Sunday Elite Division 1, where Pack took on the Scorpions up the hill. The Scorpions missing a lot of their, obviously, international players, but so were Pack, so you can't say that had anything to do with the score, but you can see the score on screen, and 134 for 10, bowled out the Scorps in 38.2. Shiv Mata with the top score of 40.
And your man, Hafiz Khan, in the wickets.
How
for him.
How close must he be to getting a Hong Kong China call up?
I'm pretty sure he's very close.
Got to be on the cusp. 4 for 13 against a very good Scorp side anyway. And then Pack Elite did it easy. 136 for 4 in 21.5. Your new little hero from Pack, Waryam.
He was in the wickets as well. He took a couple of wickets as well as 42, opening the batting, I think.
And Tariq Nawaz with the 37 and Hamza with the 25. They did it in ease. Pack winning by 6 wickets. The other Sunday Elite Div 1 game was here. I broadcasted to KCC Templars. Depleted Templars up against the rising, I guess you could say, USRC Elite with the Hyatts moving across. Bubba wasn't there, of course, but Farhad was, and Farhad did what Farhad does. Templars, that's not a bad score. 222 for 10. Didn't quite finish their 50. 2 balls left, but top scorer, as I was talking about, coming up shortly in the dugout with Kalhan Challu.
Parth Bhagwat.
Yeah, brother of Arush, one of his mates. Top scored with a 56. I was begging him to ask him just to not go back to university and just stay and play for the Templars all year, but he said he could not.
Yeah.
Tommy Heisinger with a 36. Shal Shah scoring as well, but Farhad doing Farhad things with the ball.
Yeah. 4 for 34. He was very good. He was immaculate with his line and lengths as well on the day. So equally supported by Mohammad Zishan. And he took 3 wickets. Shoaib Rana, the off spinner, took 2 for 25, bundling out Templars for 222.
Yeah, struggled with the ball, the Templars, missing, of course, Jay Davidson in that side and Atif when he comes back to be in that side. 226 for 6 in the 44th. Waqas Khan top scoring with a 57. Akbar Khan, the captain, with a 43. And Benny Paras Singh with a 37. He went in at 3.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I mean, they sent him in the top order and he did well.
Well, because on commentary I was talking about the fact that they didn't use Benny's overs. He bowled 6 overs. Akbar decided he'd bowl 10 himself and left Benny with 4 to spare. And I'm like, well, you're not using him, obviously. What's going on there? And then he goes out at number 3, smashes it.
Maybe that was the reason.
Did it easy. 4-wicket win for the USRC Elite. And we both picked the Temps.
We both did.
That's sad. Right, on to a Saturday Championship Div 1 game. Actually, we might have a Sunday Div 2 game to get through first, which is the Optimus versus the Lions. That was up the hill. We both went with the Opties, home ground advantage. They batted big. Is that Harry Hodgson with a century?
Exactly.
The youngster.
The youngster.
286 for 3. Harry with 130. The evergreen, the eternal, the Brummy. Sahal Matlinkar straight back into the run. 75. Siegfried Y with a 22, getting that score up to 286 for 3. Not much to talk about for the Lions bowling.
Yeah. Not really. The 1 wicket for Chandran, evergreen again. But other than that, there wasn't much to talk about their bowling.
And then the Lions, the batting wasn't much better either. A top score of 32 for Usman Khan and a 20 for Haroon. They were bowled out in the 36th. Big win for the Opties. And their new recruit, moving across from CHK Dragons, Thinley Kenchub with a 4 for.
4 for 42 in his 9 overs. Very well bowled.
Quite a debut for the Opties there. Yeah. Thinley, they win by 131 runs. Okay, now we're going to move to Saturday cricket as we all scroll through. And we're going to start with, let's start with the Sky Warriors versus Crusaders game that was here a Saturday a week ago. And the Sky Warriors, you tipped, I tipped the Crusaders, hoping that they could replicate the Tartars' effort. Sky Warriors batted first, almost batted their 35, 200 all out. How was the batting for the Sky Warriors? Pretty good there.
As I said in my previous tipping, the senior Dad, the Munir Dar, highest run getter again in this match, 68 on 50 balls. Hit 4 sixes in an over for Dashvora against Dashvora, who's also in line to, play for Hong Kong. So
the Crusaders will be regretting the number of dropped chances, especially against Munir on that one. So they got to 200. They thought they could get that one, chase it down in 35, but in the end, 166 all bowled out in the 34th. Nigel Schroff with the top score, half century of 53. Last episode's birthday boy, Arhan Trivedi with a 32 and the captain, Hasnan Kiani, with a 27 for the bowling.
Preet Mangukia recently turned an off spinner, and I think it's a wise decision made by his coaches and himself. Maybe he took 3 wickets against a very good side. Manpreet Singh on his debut playing Saturday took a couple of wickets. Haris also took 2 wickets for 19 runs.
Another tip right for you in that one. Yeah, indeed. The Witherers versus the Nomads for a Saturday Championship Div 1. Only the reason I went for the Witherers was a different tip than you on this one. And again, I've gone the wrong way. Witherers bowled out for 163. Siggy getting a 37 top score, but 163 is not going to be enough at Hong Kong Cricket Club. How'd the Nomads do?
They didn't even lost a wicket while chasing that 163. Matt Rafter and Luke Voice both were...
I think that might be Matt Rosley.
Rosley, yes. Matt Rosley, he scored 83 and Luke Voice 79.
Yeah.
Chased it down in 22.5 overs.
Our first 10-wicket victory of the season.
Yes, sir.
Right, let's move on to Saturday Div 1. The Yodders versus whatever the Tuskers are. I see Yodders batting. This is ridiculous. This was at Mission Road. I saw this on the stats watching on the Crick Clubs, and I thought it must have been a Cam 10. I mean, 308 for 2.
Exactly. And your man, Ankur Vashist, at it again. 170 of 108 balls. Belting balls everywhere at Mission Road. He still got it, I think.
You know, the Yodders were 6 for 2.
Yeah.
They had a 302-run partnership for the 3rd wicket. Roshan also getting in the runs with a century of 109 off 100. Obviously, not many wickets to share for the Tuskers. And then they went out to bat, and they needed 309 to win. How'd they go?
Niaz Ali, he was the only guy they needed to bowl, and what a record. He started off where he left last season, 8 wickets in his 6 overs.
Niaz has tuskered the Tuskers. 8 for 27.
He did.
6 overs. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I mean, Prashant's 2 for 7 sounds pretty good unless you put it next to Niaz. So India Club won by 262 runs.
What a start for them in Division 1.
Yeah, I didn't look at the net run rate, but I'm assuming it's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's quite high. Let's move on to Saturday Div 2 game, Laguna Gully versus India Club All-Stars. Laguna Gully, I think we both picked the All-Stars in this one, correct? Laguna Gully, we thought we were going to struggle. This one was out at Campton.
This was at Campton.
Yeah. Laguna Gully, 160 all out in 31.5. How do they do in the batting and bowling, Atif?
So Venkatesh, he scored 44 runs batting for Laguna. Mrutunjay also scored 23 runs. Harishankar, the youngster.
He's a lefty, isn't he?
He's a lefty, medium pacer. Recently on tour on a bowling camp in India.
Almost an all-star, like a junior all-stars bowling lineup. Abhimanyu's in there with a 2 for, but Harry Shankar with 5 for 7.
5 for.
Good work for the lefty. And Vikya Kapoor getting a 1 for 21. India Club All-Stars then went out to bat. And we said that they were going to get bullied by Imran Arif, and they did. 77 off 76 for Imran. Akash Yadav, the captain, 56 as well. And they chased it down with 10 overs to spare. A couple of wickets there who took the Ramakrishna.
Yes.
2 for. So India Club All-Stars get the win by 6 wickets. And the final game, Saturday Championship Div 2, the Strikers versus the Centaurs. And that was the one where we looked down the camera. I looked down the camera and said, Centaurs, if you can win this, it'll get you out of the never ever bin. So how do they do? Strikers batting first, 143 for 6 in 35, 52 for Samarakun. Harold Pinto with a 30, and not that many wickets, 2 for Wakas. And how did the Centaurs do in reply?
They were bundled out for 55, and with no notable, only one person getting into double figures, which was Manoj. Other than that, there was no notable performance with the bat from Centaurs. And I might agree with you, they might never come out of the never ever been.
Look, glass half full. I'm always a very positive person, Atif.
Okay.
And we will say, Centaurs, at least you went the lowest score over the last 2 weeks. That was 46. They got to 55, but yes, until you get a win, still in the never ever bin. We both got that tip right. So at the end of the tipping, there was supposed to be what? 21 games in total? 10 got washed out.
10 got washed out
from last weekend. What's the tipping tally?
So we picked few teams to win. Both of us tipped for that team. So if you look at the table, it's 8 to me, 5 to you. 8 to me, 5 to you.
I see. Now, I'm like one of those teams that starts slow. Starts the season, just eases into it, and then by the end, boom, I'm in the grand final. You wait and see. I went down by 3. I felt I went down a lot more, to be honest.
I'm here throughout the season. I'll see.
Well, we're going to find out after the end of the dugout. We're going to have a look at upcoming games and tip again. But right now, it's time for our guest on In the Dugout. We're in the dugout with the who's who of cricket in Hong Kong. We're in the dugout atop the Kowloon Cricket Club swimming pool pavilion with a KCC junior, now a rising star for Cricket Hong Kong, China. Joining us for episode 2, it's Kalhan Challu. Thanks for joining us, Kalhan.
Thank you so much, Buschy. Great to be here. Thank you.
Well, you did grow up here in Hong Kong. You're born in Hong Kong, in fact. Let's go back all the way to start at the beginning. 2003 you were born. Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at King George V. King George V.
Of course you did. I feel like pretty much everybody that's been on this podcast over the 3 seasons went to KGV.
Look, it's obviously quite a popular school. Lots of people have gone there, lots of cricket alumni too. We love the school. Some of the connections that I've made there are lifelong. And
Is that when you got into cricket at school?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so that's where I started my game. King George V, but actually goes back to when I was at Kowloon Junior School, which is when I started. I was about 5. And my dad gave me my first ever bat, which is just here actually. And ever since then, that's when I started my love for this lovely game. And then here we are 18 years later.
Yeah, and talking to a international cricketer.
International.
Did that little 5-year-old boy ever think perhaps that was going to happen? Was that always the goal?
Look, the little 5-year-old boy, he always had a dream to play at this level, at the highest level that he could. And every time I play my game, I always think about what that little 5-year-old boy would have wanted, in the sense that he played this game because he loved it. And for me, every time things aren't really going my way in the game, or things are going my way, I always think about why I started playing. And that helps me to enjoy the journey, as everyone says.
It's a very level head for a 22-year-old.
Thank you.
A few other international cricketers should perhaps do the same.
Oh, thank you, man.
Now, speaking of your junior career, we've got a video now. We're just going to play this video. And it's a very young, not that young, not 5-year-old Kalhan.
Here we go.
Accepting an award from, who is that in the background? Is that Atif Hussain?
Kalhan, and your boys have done it, so here's your trophy. Please come and collect. It is. Yeah, it is Atif Hussain.
How long ago was that?
This was
You look a lot younger. He looks pretty much the same.
He looks pretty much the same, does he? Well, it's nice to see him here today. That was actually back maybe 5-10 years ago. I want to say 10 years ago, back when we had won the school league. I was obviously young, lean.
PKVR, was it?
PKVR Reservoir. Yeah, Reservoir. What a ground.
Yeah.
Great ground. I used to love that little shortcut to third man.
It's now the home of the under-13s All-Stars, so they love it as well.
As it should do. As it should be.
Speaking of under-13s, or perhaps when you were 14, right behind us here at Kowloon Cricket Club, did you score a Saturday century? I think we've got some footage of that as well.
I did score one Saturday century, yeah. That was when Scotty McKechnie was the coach. And he was awesome, really. And for him to take a video of that and put that up is something that I really cherish, and I'm really proud to have been a part of that.
Afternoon all, great scenes here at the Kowloon Cricket Club on this fine Saturday afternoon. 2 youngsters in the middle representing the KCC Tartars. Kalhan Challu, age 14, currently 98, not out as he heads towards the Saturday League century. It's gone through the infield out into the offside, running hard. It's a dive, a scramble, it's gone for 4. Kalhan, congratulations, well played.
Still talking about your junior career, and I was doing a bit of research, and the very last Hong Kong Blitz, I believe you were drafted in, was it for City Kai-Tak?
City Kai-Tak. What a time. I was obviously lucky enough to play with some of the best in the world. Samuel Badri, Riyad Emrit, and obviously Kyle Kutzer, who's now one of my really good mates. And I think Anshuman Rath, that was actually the first time that I met him properly. And to just see the way that he sort of goes about things and how relaxed he is about the game while he continues to make runs, that was something that I'll cherish forever. And obviously the Hong Kong Blitz was such a great time and such a great tournament for us as locals. So I'm really hoping that we're able to get that back.
There's whispers.
There is whispers.
Yeah, that'd be very, very good.
It's great to hear.
So once you finish with the Blitz, I believe you're off to New Zealand then for the rest of high school. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so I left to New Zealand for high school in 2019, September.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been there for the past 6 years ever since. So I moved in 2019 for school, did my uni there. And now I'm sort of working a little like part-time job as I continue on the New Zealand cricket pathway while I'm playing and obviously developing my skills over there as a player. And now I'm obviously playing for.
You're not
Hong
the
Kong.
only junior that went across to New Zealand. There's a few. Do you catch up with any of them?
I do, yeah. So Rana Kapoor and Arush, both of my best friends just in life. And we made the move there, us three. And obviously lucky enough now, 6 years later, we're the best of friends and we're still there developing our skills and, you know, aside from the game, trying to also develop life skills that'll take us a long way.
Speaking of Roosh, I believe his brother Path was playing here at KCC a weekend ago, just dropping in. He's in the US, I think, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was that. So you were playing for who while you're in New Zealand? I know you play a lot of domestic cricket over there. Who were you playing for?
So I was initially playing for Christchurch. Canterbury is the region. And I was playing my club cricket for Lancaster Park as I was playing for Christchurch Boys High when I was playing at school. I've just actually recently made the move up to Auckland, in which I'm playing in the Auckland setup, but also playing for Cornwall as my club.
Now, I'm going to get you to name those two teams again. Listen in closely because perhaps in episode 3 in the Cricketbuzz Cricket Quiz, who you're playing for and move to will come up. Now, if you try to Google it, of course, it's going to give your old team.
Yes.
So who is it again? One more time so they can get that quiz ready for next week.
For the lovely camera, I am playing for Auckland and I have also now moved to Cornwall Club.
Okay. Note that down for the next episode. Now we'll move on to your international career, of course. You came back. 2025 has been massive for you.
Yes.
You debuted this year. I believe it was against Kuwait. Before we go on and talk about that, we've got a video of you receiving your cap from former Kalhan Cricket Club player Bubba Hyatt.
Bubba Hyatt, yep.
Yeah, we like you, as you know that we have a debutant today. I think I've seen him play for KCC in junior level. He have done a lot of hard work, and then, you know, he's been playing for Canterbury for last 6-7 years, and he have done well. And I wish you best of luck and play for Hong Kong almost 20.
So how was it? I mean, it must have been pretty exciting. You flew in from New Zealand, played the All-Stars, and then into the international lineup straight away.
Look, it's something that always been a long-term dream of mine to play for Hong Kong, China. And it didn't really sink in until I actually got my cap from, obviously, Babar, who was there. Coming back, playing with Waqas Barkov, who's been my coach growing up, and some of my mates too. You know, it's been such a wild journey and something that I wouldn't have ever sort of pictured when I was a young kid. You know, we obviously talk about what that 5-year-old kid wants. And come April, I guess the dream sort of came true.
Yeah, so you had the International Series plus the ICC Challenge League. Then you headed off to Singapore on a pitch I've not quite ever seen before. In fact, I was watching it online, and what I thought was the umpire's shadow was in fact the reflection of the umpire.
Yeah.
It was so shiny you could see it was reflecting off the pitch. But you put together a couple of 40s down there.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to spend some time out there. Look, it was such a great time over there. You know, the wicket was great, and Singapore Cricket did a great job to prepare something like that for us to be able to go and play like a tournament there is something that we really cherish. I guess for us, we just want to play the most amount of games that we can. And to go over there, play against some teams that are good, teams that are really good, they've got skill. And for us to, try and win games there was something that was, a real privilege, honor. And it was a great time there, I think aside from playing, some of the memories that you make just with the boys, something that I'm going to really
And I guess,
cherish.
yeah, speaking on that, the more you play in the team, the more in the setup, the more camaraderie you get between teammates. And then it was the big show for Associate Nations in Asia. You went to Asia Cup.
Yes.
How was
yes. Asia Cup was amazing. It was more of a mental challenge than anything actually technical, which is something that I really learned coming out of it. And when I say that, I mean, look, you can get onto the big stage and you can think like, oh, am I really competent enough to be here? And it's almost that sometimes you go in there and you feel, look, this is an imposter syndrome type thing. I'm at the top level of my game right now, but am I actually enough to be here? Am I actually do I deserve to be here? And then you go out in the middle and you just try and execute your skills. And we had some standout performances from some of the boys here. And sort of that just shows some of the talent that we have in this group. And me being a part of that was great. And look, the Asia Cup is something that I'm going to cherish for a long, long time. And the environment around some of the guys that I got to see play just in real life, like sort of Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi, things like that is something that I'm just going to, it's something that's going to be in my mind just for the rest of my life, really.
Well, you did get to rub shoulders with some big names, including grabbing a photo with one Shubman Gill, I do believe. We got a photo of that one. How did that happen?
So I was a little scared after my little net, gone for a net, and Shubman Gill is just standing right there. So I've come out and there's actually quite a funny video of me sort of walking up to him like this and then, seeing him and then putting my head like that, Here in the headlights. Oh my goodness, I'm doing that.
Shubman Gill.
Shubman Gill. And some of the things that I've remarked on after I've been back is just how nice he was. You see these guys on the TV and you're thinking like, oh my God, like this guy is so good at what he does. And then you talk to him one-on-one and it's like he's just a normal human. And it was awesome to talk to him about my own game, talk to him about England, talk to him about, he had some tips that he shared that really helped, build trust in who I am as a person, but also in my game. And so being able to talk to him about all aspects of life in that 5-minute conversation that I had was something that I really love.
That's fantastic. But it wasn't your first brush with Indian cricket royalty. We managed to find this one of you and none other than the great that is Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, here we go.
Though you do seem to be that you're more excited about your Spider-Man shirt than Sachin. How did that come about? And how old were you in this photo?
Look, I was a big Spider-Man fan as a child.
Rightly so.
But no, Sachin. So there's a big story attached to that, actually.
Oh, really?
So when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, my dad and I used to play corridor, like a game just in like the corridor where I sort of had to hit the ball without the ball touching the walls. And if I could do that 100 times, Dad promised that I would meet him one day. I did actually manage to do it one day. And anyway, 6 months later, we're now on a flight to India. And I'm asking Dad, like, hey, I did the challenge 6 months ago. So what's the vibe here? Am I going to get to meet him? And Dad's like, look, that was time. I just said that to motivate you. And it's going to be tough for you to actually meet him because he's the great and we're not going to be able to meet him just like that. Anyway, so then 6 days later, we get to Mumbai and we're at the hotel. And I see this like short 5'5" guy standing with a maroon top. I think it was pink top. I think it was pink and white sort of. So I look at Dad and I'm like, Dad, is that Sachin? And Dad's like, no, can't be. And he turns and it was him just there. And I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. So I've like run up to him. I've stopped him like, hey.
I know you were happy, but I'm pretty sure your dad was happier because he all of a sudden, something he's promised and had zero chance of ever delivering on, boom, there he is.
Look, he's obviously had a promise to upkeep, and I consider Dad, Dad's my hero after that. I was like, my dad's my hero. I love my dad. He made this happen. He made this happen.
Wow, that's
that is what I
amazing.
believe in my own head.
Well, absolutely. 100. Sachin Tendulkar's big fan of 100 straight drives in the corridor.
Oh, man,
I'm
look at
sure.
me.
So, what's next for Kalhan Challu? Obviously, international back from Asia Cup. There's you're going to stick around for a couple of Premier League games, I believe, for Kalhan Cricket Club. Then what's next?
Yes, that's right. So yeah, I'm gonna stick around for a couple of Premier League games. And for me, it's just I'm gonna be available for Hong Kong for as long as I can be. You know, playing for the team is something that I really cherish. And I'm really lucky to be here. While I continue to develop my skills back in NZ, I'm going to continue to play, continue to develop my skills, and I think try and make sure that mentally I'm staying as relaxed as I can about the game. I think too many times, you know, you can predict what's about to happen, or you can think about the past, and it's something that I'm trying to work on about myself, is just to stay in the moment, try to be where my feet are, and I think that's something that really helps me every time I go out and play, you know, rather than thinking, hey, this could happen, you know, I could get 100, or I could just get a duck, or I could there's a lot of things that could happen, and then you go out and that doesn't happen, and you're sort of disappointed in yourself rather than sort of being in the moment. So look, there are a couple of work-ons that I have to do, that I have to work on about myself mentally, and it's something that I'm trying to continue to do as I continue on my little cricketing journey, so to say.
Well, we hope here at Cricket Hong Kong China and the podcast and everybody that follows the Hong Kong China side that you'll be in the setup for the decade to come, at least, if not more. Kalhan Challu, thanks for joining us on the 8 for 52 podcast.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Great to be here.
More exciting cricket action coming up. Let's check out who plays who next. Okay, time to look at the upcoming matches for the next 2 weekends. Atif, we've got a massive schedule again. And let's start on Saturday, the 27th, and we're going to start with Saturday Championship Div 1, 3 games. First one, Sky Warriors versus Pack Rising Stars at Mission Road.
I was bullied for saying this last week. Massive game. It's going to be a cracker of a game again. Both winning their first
You're
round.
using all your euphemisms at the beginning, so you've got to come up with new ones for the next 20-odd games.
Exactly. So Sky Warriors winning their game, Park Rising Star also winning their game. So, and they might have ground, both like that ground. So it's going to be a very, very tough for both of them.
I'm going to go Pack Rising Stars. I'm back on the Rising Stars since they rose. I got off them when they sank. But now they're rising again. It's going to be a good one. And also ground conditions going to be a big factor considering the Super Typhoon.
Yeah.
That's heading our way tomorrow because we're recording on a Monday.
Exactly.
We'll be done by then. We'll find out if the ground's up to scratch on Saturday. Who are you going for?
I think I'm going to go for Sky Warriors.
Okay, sticking on the Mania train. Very nice. Tartars versus the Nomads up the hill at Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Another big one. Another cracker of a game is going to be. Both Nomads and Tartars are in good shape. Their lineups look very settled, especially with a couple of changes in Tartars now. I think Tartars are just going to edge it.
I was on the Tartars train. I'm off the Tartars train. I'm going on the Nomads train. Home ground advantage. That's the only reason why I'm going for the Nomads there. Then here at KCC, it'll be the Crusaders looking for their first win against the USRC Lions.
Crusaders might not have the best of the game last week, but I think they're going to come good this time, and I'm going to tip them against USRC Lions.
Now, with the Tuskers being the Tuskers and not quite a USRC team anymore, this has got all the Saturday players in it for the United Services of the Lions, but I'm still going to tip the Crusaders to get their first game at home on Saturday. And then we'll move to Saturday Div 2 at GDB. CCC Hung Si for the first time this season up against the Punjab Lions.
Yes, so Punjab, I think, didn't get to play their game.
Don't know what they're like
exactly.
this season.
But against the CCC Hung Si side, I am still going to favor Punjab Lions to come out triumphs.
I'm going with Punjab Lions on that one as well. And then on Sunday, September 28, Premier League one-day returns. The return of the plod.
It is the return of our CHK broadcast with you commentating for us.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'll be here at Kalhan Cricket Club. We'll get to that game shortly, but there is also a game at Mission Road. It's Diaspora Little Saiwan D-Lit, USRC Premier. All the international players are back in town.
And now this one is going to be hard to pick.
Esan versus the Hyatts.
certainly
Buschy.
is. Yes, and I think just because of the high odds, I am going to tip USRC to beat Taiwan on this one.
Yeah, Taiwan's a bit like my tipping. Each season they start terribly and then they get much better as the season goes on. So I'm going to go with USRC on that one as well. And then big one, massive one here at Kalhan Cricket Club. PACC Premier up against Kalhan Cricket Club Premier from Tam.
Yep, and hopefully the weather permits. We get these games in because
I think the weather on Sunday looks good. It's just a matter of the grounds, and we always know KCC is going to get up.
yeah,
No problem. I thought that one.
So with KCC having their players back and some of them,
Yep. So Azaz and
Atik,
and as we heard in the dugout, Kalhan
Kalhan.
Challu is going to be playing for KCC Premier. And then for PAC, of course, they're long listed.
Star Powers.
Yeah, coming back in as well. What do you think? With no
I'm
Bubba,
still thinking.
no Bubba for KCC, who usually likes to have fun against the PACC.
But there is a home advantage thing as well with KCC playing at KCC. But I don't know. My gut says PACC, so I think I'm going to go with them.
I'm going to go KCC only because PACC seem to have a hoodoo. When they come to KCC, they look like they've got the game won. The Wasp would say 92%, and then somehow they'd grasp defeat out of the hands of victory.
Yeah, it has happened a couple of times in last season as well. Yeah.
So I'll go KCC and see how they go with the new teams. Then we'll also have a look at Sunday Elite Div 2 going on at HKCC. The Vagabonds up against the Optimists.
I think Optimists are favourite for this one.
Yeah, newly relegated Vagabonds though, former Div 1 team, but home ground advantage, Opties to win for me as well. And then we'll move on to Women's League Div 1 out at PKVR of Reservoir. The Willow Wielders, who I'm never allowed to tip against, up against the Cricketbuzz Cricket Club Sunrisers, who I always tip for.
Exactly. So what are you going to do?
Are they back from Hangzhou?
I don't know. Maybe you have to ask future Buschy somewhere down the line. But
That doesn't help me now. Future Bushy's only good for two.
exactly. So I don't know.
That's
maybe they are, maybe
one.
they're not.
That's a tough one. Okay, I'm going to break one of my rules, obviously, but I'm going to go Willow Wielders on this one. Never tip against Tammy.
Yeah, I think I'll join you with that. I don't want to tip against Tammy as well.
Excellent news. A Div 3 game, USRC Eagles versus the Diamonds. The Diamonds had a heavy loss in their first round. I think I'll go with the Eagles on this one. That's going to be tough. The Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles are also a development team. They've just recently formed up the team. So, I don't know, just to go against you, I'm going to tip Diamonds this one.
Well, Tammy will be very happy with you. And another Div 1. So 2 Div 1 games on Sunday the 28th. The Wasps up against the Lantau Ladies.
Yes. It comes down to if they're back yet. But I'm still going to pick Wasps.
I'm going with Diaspora Little Saiwan as well. Then we've got some National Day games on October 1st, a Wednesday. Now, we'll start with Sunday Elite Div 1. The Diaspora Little Saiwan Tony Turner's up against the India Club Brahmas.
Okay, so after their victory, Brahmas are going to be flying high. Tony Turner's on the other end did not play in the first round. So, what are you looking at?
Well, I mean, they didn't really have much of a game, the Brahmas. So, only 4 of their batters even got to bat.
Yeah.
So we don't know how the rest of the team performs, but they were pretty good with bat and ball. I'm going with the Brahmas.
I'll go with Tony Turner's.
Okay. Saturday Championship Div 2 on the Wednesday. Lancers versus Punjab Lions. Punjab Lions playing twice in 4 days.
Yeah, they are. And despite them playing twice in 4 days, I think I'm going to pick them against Lancers as well.
I am too. Punjab Lions to win out at GDB. Women's League Div 3. The Cavaliers versus the Diamonds. Oh, this is a HKCC derby.
And being played at HKCC as well.
Oh, it'll be on the YouTubes then, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That'll be good to see.
Yep. But I think Cavaliers are a bit too strong for Diamonds. And I'm going to tip them.
I've got a scheduling issue here, Atif. you've got the Cavaliers and Diamonds playing at HKCC from 2 to 5 p.m. But the next game for the Sunday Elite Div 1 is also at HKCC. So who are which one of those two teams are playing is at HKCC? We can't have 4 teams at the same time.
Cannot. I think we'll have to go back and check our listing again. But if let's suppose if Diamonds Cavaliers play, we tip that, and then if Wanderers are playing against USRC, we tip that.
Yeah, okay. So also apparently at the same time, the USRC Elite versus the Wanderers. I can't tip against the Elite now.
Can you not?
Not against USRC after watching them. Farhad is in a mood. He's looking fit. He's lost weight.
Certainly.
He's fast. He's getting wickets already. It's going to be a
I'm
good
going
game.
with you as well. There's no.
If that game is on.
Yeah.
To be confirmed. Otherwise, we'll tip it again another time. Let's move to Saturday, October 4. The Ascot Little Saiwan Sky Warriors up against the India Club Yodas. This is going to be tough for you to tip.
It is going to be very tough, and I'm going to break my rule. I think with Yodas, with Niaz and company, I think it's something that I can't pick against. So I am definitely going to go with this one.
Munira's great, but he's not great enough to take down the Yodas.
He's 50 plus.
So am I.
And still doing great. So
not so much myself. Yes, okay, I'm going with India Club as well. Move on to some Saturday Championship out at PKVR Park. Saturday Championship Div 2, Hung Si versus the Ascot Little Saiwan Thunder.
Okay, so this is something I don't know who's playing for Thunder.
No, me neither.
So I don't know where to go with
You're
this
a
one.
Saturday expert.
I am, but this is the start of the season. Lots of changes have happened. Lots of players have retired. Lots of players are moving to Challenge League.
I mean, it'd be easier if I could have seen Hung Si play already and see how they did against Punjab Riders as well. This one, PKVR Park.
I think just because of PKVR Park, I'm going to go with Thunder.
Yeah, I'm going to go Thunder as well until Hung Si show me what they've got this season.
Yeah.
At HKCC, the Tartars again having to play up the hill, this time against the Witherers in Saturday Div 1.
I think this season it will be very difficult to beat Tartars. For some reason, I have all my money on them winning the league as well. So,
blimey, they were almost relegated. And you're taking them to go to the top of Div 1. That said, I tipped the Witherers, I think, last one. I always get the Witherers and Wanderers mixed up. But I'm going Tartars in that one.
Yeah.
The Crusaders versus Lama at KCC on Saturday the 4th.
Good game. I think both teams match with their lineups, and I think I'm going to go Crusaders on this one.
Now, I said the Lama always get very angry at me when I don't tip them, but I am going to tip the Crusaders for that one. Saturday the 4th as well. KCC in 3 in a row. The Saracens in Div 2 up against Kaitak.
At GDB.
At GDB. The Saracens getting their first game on. Malha is still the captain.
Okay.
Confirmed with him, who's staying on for another season.
Perfect.
So what do you think?
Despite him staying, I think I'm going to go Kaitak.
I'm going Kaitak. Saracens are going to have to prove to me after last season. And finally, the final game on Saturday, October 4, IC All-Stars up against HKU Cricket Club at Campton. Yeah.
Are you going against?
No, I'm tipping All-Stars.
Exactly. So am I. So
okay, let's move on to Premier League for the second round. Sunday, October 5, USRC Premier up against Pac Premier at Mission Road, Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground from 9 a.m.
Cracker of a game again. Coming back to my aneurysms. USRC, despite looking very strong, PACC in Premier League have always looked strong. They've got a very good side. They've got a settled side. And I think that is the reason I'm going to pick Pakistan Association Cricket Club to win this one.
Yeah, me too. I like the Pac. They're going to do well, I think. Then up the hill, KCC Premier versus HKCC Premier, even though it's a KCC home game.
Yeah.
Which is very disappointing because that means I'm going to have to go up the hill to commentate that game.
Yeah.
That's going to be
very close.
That'll be Kalhan's last game for KCC Premier. He said he's going to play 2. Premier with all their players back, HKCC Premier that is. At home, I'm going with Hong Kong Cricket Club.
Yeah. I think I'll have to agree with you on this one as well. Hong Kong Cricket Club look very strong on paper.
Right, other games on Sunday, October 5, Sunday Elite Div 2. The Vagabonds again playing over the Premier League weekend against the CHK Dragons, PKBR Park. Dragons missing out on their first game. That was a washout against the Infidels. Haven't seen what they look like this year. The Vagabonds newly demoted into Div 2.
Dragons have improved drastically in last couple of seasons, but they've not really had the results they wanted. And that is probably the reason I'm still going to pick Vagabonds for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Vagabonds on the fact that Thinley Kenchub's moved across to HKCC.
Another reason.
Ollie Shale, because he missed out on that first game, has already left to go to university. So they're really going to have to count on Jason Loy and all their youngsters in the rotation. So it's going to be a tough game out there. So I'll pick the Vagabonds there. Let's move on to some Women's League. Div 2, starting off KCC Maidens. Without Yasmin Daswani up against India Club Velocity.
Yes, it's
You heard and spill the beans. You know where she's going, but I don't think she's playing yet anyway.
And she's not back in Hong Kong. That I know.
Yeah, well done.
But I've done my research this time.
Yes.
And due to that research, I think I'm going to go with Velocity on this one.
Yeah, Velocity has... Who's at India Club Velocity? Vancy, and they've got a new recruit from India as well, Akshi. She's an off spinner, so they've got two pros basically playing for them. Yeah.
Along with...
They only need Vancy, but anyway, now they've got two maidens in that game. SCC Penay up against USRC Eagles in Div 3.
Going to be a close game again, but I think I'm going to go with Penay on this one.
I'm going Penay as well. Sunrisers versus Lantau Ladies. At least I can get back on my Sunrisers bagwagon here. I'm going to go with Craig and Gower in that one.
It's very hard to pick against Sunrisers in this one, and I do want to go against you, but it'll mean that I'm deliberately losing a point, which I don't want to, so I'm going to go Sunrisers.
All right, the other Craig and Gower team, Fung Wong up against Serendip Lionesses.
Fung Wong have started really well.
Easy well. So good.
Exactly. So it'll be very difficult to pick against them until we need to. So I think I'm picking Fung Wong as well.
Agreed. Fung Wong. Then there's some games on Tuesday because we just play cricket whenever. The Sunday Elite Division 1, Tuesday, October 7. Pack Elite versus Diaspora Little So on Tony Turner's at Mission Road.
Yes, the fight of the two iconic clubs, Little Saiwan and Pakistan Association. Going to be a very close-knit game. I think both teams are looking very strong this year, but it'll be very difficult for Saiwan to go past Pakistan Association. So that is the reason I'm going to go with Pakistan Association on this one.
Back for me as well. Also in Sunday Elite Div 1, this is going to be a very good game. India Club Brahmas against HKCC Scorpions up the hill.
Scorpions did well in their first game. Did they?
No, they were terrible. But they also didn't have Nazaket, Ansh, Martin. So they're all going to be back playing for the Scorps. So most of them do. One plays for the other team. Is it Nazaket plays for Wanderers? I don't know. I can't keep up with HKCC. But
you were the Sunday man, I thought.
Not for those HKCC teams. They're just too confusing. There's too many teams in Div 1.
Yes. So,
but yeah, they'll have a good handful of their senior players back in as well.
What do you reckon? Are you going with Brahmas again?
I'm going to go Scorps. Again, I'm going to tip the Scorps until they win. The opposite of the never ever bin. I'm going to try to drag them out of the bin, out of the bottom place.
This one is close, so I'm going to go Brahmas with this one.
All right, one last game and a very long list of games coming up. SCC Lancers versus Diaspora Little Saiwan Thunder at GDB in Saturday Championship Div 2.
Both teams equally balanced, equally matched on paper, and it's at GDB, so I'm going to go with Lancers on this one.
I was thinking to do the same, so we will. We're going to both go for the Lancers, rounding out a whole heap of games coming up in the next 2 weeks here in Hong Kong. If you're out and about on the weekend, or even on a Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, or whenever we're playing cricket, head out to a ground and watch it, or catch it online on Cricket Hong Kong China YouTube for Premier League, here at KCC YouTube for local games, and Hong Kong Cricket Club YouTube as well. That's all the upcoming games. It's time for the Cricketbuzz Quiz, where you put your cricket knowledge to the ultimate test.
welcome back to the Cricketbuzz Quiz. First off, let's unveil the answers of the last episode. For question 1, the answer was Anshuman Rath, scoring 726 runs in 16 T20I matches. And for question 2, it was Ehsan Khan with 46 wickets in 92.5 overs. Did you get them right? Now, on to today's questions. Question 3 of the Cricketbuzz Quiz. Which Hong Kong-China player reached their 50 T20I wickets milestone in the recent Asia Cup? Moving on to question 4. We all know about the famous partnership between Anshuman Rath and Nizakut Khan against India in the 2018 Asia Cup. But who took 3 wickets for Hong Kong-China that day? Now that wraps up this episode's Cricketbuzz Quiz. Share answers in the comment section of the 8 for 52 podcast Instagram page or the Cricket Hong Kong China's Facebook page for a chance to win a signed 2024 Hong Kong Sixes mini bat. And before we end, a big shout out to Emily for getting the correct answers in the previous episode. Hope you enjoy your prize.
Who's having a birthday in Hong Kong cricket circles? Find out in the Birthday Bonanza with Jazz.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
So coming up, we have 3 birthday celebrants. On the 25th of September, we have Najib Amar having his birthday. And on the 28th of September, we have Marina Lamplau. And on the 30th of September, we have Remy Lee having his birthday. Before we end that, we have a special message from one of our birthday celebrants.
Hi Buschy and Jasmine, this is Remy from Under 11's HKCC Dragons. Thank you for mentioning me in the podcast. I think I'm going to take a lot of wickets and score a lot of runs this season. Bye.
Thank you, Remy. Hope you enjoy your birthday.
Hi, I'm Yasin Murtaza.
I'm Nizakut Khan.
I'm Martin Gutierrez.
I'm Azaz Khan from Hong Kong China's men team.
Tune in to the all-new
8 for 52 podcast
on CHKC YouTube,
Spotify,
and Apple Podcasts.
So ends episode 2, season 3 of the 8 for 52 podcast, driven by Cricket Hong Kong China, proudly supported by Cricketbuzz team. Massive episode. So great to talk to Kalhan Challu in the dugout.
So great. He's just 22 years old, but he's got a very wise head on his shoulder.
He really wise. Like, the wisdom came out of his mouth. You'd think he was like somebody that had retired after playing for 20 years.
Exactly.
Which is a great mindset for him, and is glad we can see him in the Premier League coming up very shortly. Speaking of which, we had so many games to get through.
So many.
It's been a very hot and sweaty episode. We said earlier that we were reporting just before Super Typhoon Ragasa comes and strikes, and anyone that's in Hong Kong knows what it's like just the day before a typhoon. It is so hot and so sticky, and I've sweated my way through what has been a very long podcast. Thanks for bearing with me, team. In the birthdays, Jazz, how cute was that from Remy?
It was really cute.
It's adorable, and happy birthday. We get a birthday wish from both the Lee boys each year. And congratulations to Emily, winner of the Cricketbuzz Quiz, picked a New Zealand bat and photoed with that bat. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations.
Yes. And, well, we've got to go get ready and tie everything down because the typhoon is coming. We've got to edit this thing. We're going to look forward to future Buschy giving us an update from the Belton Road up there in Hangzhou. But until then, until episode 3, thanks for watching. And Buschy signing off.
Hit and run, that's how we get it done. Hit and run, that's how we get it. Hit and run, that's how we get it done.
The 8 for 52 podcast is written, produced and published by Aaron Bush, Atif Hussain and Jasmine Zito for Cricket Hong Kong China and Trip Ahead Limited. Copyright 2025.
They try to test me, but no